I'm talking to people here that we need to get things done. We need to get things done. So I work, in multiple positions and multiple facets. And a lot of people come to me and say, how do you get this thing done? You are in our auditorium. We'll soon be moving out of here to our new one in Ganil. But I'm a senior pastor of this church. And a lot of people say, how do you get these things done? How are you a senior pastor and the founder of this church? And yet you are also working in the marketplace. So I am the GM of CIMAS Healthcare Services. And under me, we've got a lot of things that we are doing. We've got hospitals, pharmacies, we've got clinics all over Zimbabwe. We've got 14 sites in Victoria Falls, Bulawayo, Gweru, Kwekwe, pharmacies. So we have, in fact, I am in charge of the biggest department or biggest arm of CIMAS. And so people ask me, how do you get that done? And not only that, I also run my own businesses. And these businesses, they've got also enough people. There are over 200 people employed in those businesses. And then I'm married, I've got kids, and all those kind of things. So how do I get things done? So I've got something to say. I've got something to say. Unless if there's somebody in here who is doing more things than I am doing, then I can give you the mic and I sit down. Is there anybody going once, going twice, going thrice? So you have to listen to me. Okay. I'll say, all right. So if Warren Buffett was here, I was going to sit down and listen to him because he's running better way. And it's a massive empire. So let's look into this. So I'm going to talk to you. There is something that you need to know. Can you guys see that? Is that clear? Is it clear? Are you seeing it at the back? All right. So maybe you listen. I'll try to make it large the next time. One of the things that I want you to do is you need to understand what I call your energy cycle. Everybody say energy. You guys don't have energy. Say energy. Cycle. All right. So what every human being has is what I call an energy cycle. And right now you might have seen it, that during the day or in every 24 hours, there are periods of time where you feel pumped up, where you are energetic, and there are times within those same 24 hours where you feel down, you feel lazy. And it has to do with your energy. So while a lot of people are still talking about time management, us now who are advanced, we talk about energy management. Energy management. So you do have what we call an energy cycle. And it is, so you need to locate where your high energy is. Because at those moments of high energy, that's where you are most productive. That's where you are most attentive. That's where you are most creative. And if you miss those moments, it can be 2 hours, it can be 3 hours. If you spend them doing nothing, if you spend them on stupid things, when you want to get things that are important done, you are out of energy and you won't get things done. So there are times in your time. So for me, I'm a morning person. I'm a morning person. I don't work at night. I'm a morning person, so I like to wake up early in the morning, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'm up. And in that zone between 4 and 6, before 4 and 7, that's my energy time. That's where I write things down, that's where I think, that's where I solve problems, that's where I plan my day, that's where I do my most critical stuff. Now, on the other hand, my wife is not a morning person. In the morning, she'll be sleeping. She's an evening person. And when she was doing her studies, she would actually read during the night. And you can ask her, I don't read during the night. I actually sleep at 10 o'clock. Because I am not an evening person. I know where my energy is. So you have to know when you are energized. Because if you miss your 3-4 hours of energy, the rest of the time, you are now doing the most important work when you are least creative, least productive, and it actually affects how you get things done. Did you learn something there? Did you learn something there? So what do you need to do? You need to be aware of your cycle, And then you need to know whether you're a morning person, you're an afternoon person, and you dedicate the most difficult, the creative part of whatever you are doing to those times when you are motivated, when you are creative. So find out what it is and know your energy cycle. Are we clear about that one? Because if you miss that window, you are going to be in trouble. If you miss that window, you are out. You are really, really out. Number 2, you have to obviously manage your time. Time management is very key. It's a skill. It can be learned. There are so many books that have been written. One of the books that I like, that I read about time management, is by an old gentleman called Brian Tracy. If you know him, it's a good book to read. And so in fact, he's one of the best time management writers of all time. Of all time. But one of the books that I like that he wrote is How to Increase Your Income, or How to Double Your Income. How to double your income. But so it's important for you to manage your time. And what I do, now I'm telling you what I do here. We're not telling you theories. We're telling you what I do. So what I do is that I group my work. I group my what? My work. And so what I do is I don't just do everything haphazardly. And a lot of people enter their day without knowing what they need to do the following day. So my tomorrow is already planned. My Sunday is already planned. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So when I arrive in a day, I do not plan about the day, I execute in that day. I do my planning a day before or days before. Am I talking to somebody? So by tonight, before you go to sleep, you must know exactly what you're going to use your tomorrow. What are you going to do in the morning? What are you going to do in the afternoon? What are you going to do in the afternoon? In the evening? Who are you going to call? Who are you going to meet? Who are you going to visit? Are you hearing what I'm saying? You must know exactly what you are doing. And a lot of people get into the day and Holy Spirit help me. No. It's too late. Are you hearing what I'm saying, somebody? If you want to get things done, you must schedule your work, and you schedule your work. You schedule what you're going to use your time a day before. Am I talking to somebody here? And one of the things that I have seen is that if you want to execute and to manage your time, work in blocks. Work in what? In blocks. There is a law called the law of diminishing returns. It means that the more you continue to work on something, your efficiency and output starts to decrease. And as a psychiatrist, I can say something about human behavior. You cannot concentrate more than 2 hours. After 2 hours, your mind starts to wander. Who has ever read a book, and after you have read almost 3 pages, has anybody done that? Is it only me? Because there are moments where you can actually do some work and be attentive. Then somewhere along the way, your attention span starts to decrease. And so if you are a pastor and you are here and you are doing 6-hour services, preaching 6-hour services, people are sleeping. You are the only one who is awake. You understand what I'm saying? So it's better to have short services and people catch something than to have long services that people will forget what they had 2 hours, 4 hours ago. You understand what I'm saying? So you must work in blocks. So what I do is I work with 2-hour blocks. I block 2 hours and I say, in this block, I am doing nothing else except this. Whether it's a project, whether it's a meeting, I block myself. And when I say I block myself, I then block everything else. I even block distractions. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So I put my phone on flight mode. You cannot reach me. You cannot call me. I will not even open the door if you knock, because it's my 2 hours of work. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're at home, that's why you say, do not disturb. Do not disturb. So at that moment, you cannot reach me, you cannot catch me. And what I will do is that after the 2 blocks, I will see calls, I will see messages, and decide which one to answer, which one to call back. In fact, I usually don't call back, because if it's really important, you keep on calling. So I might have 35 missed calls. I will probably not, if it's my wife, that's the only one I will probably do, or my child. But the rest, I'll wait. Because if it's important, you're going to call back. You understand what I'm saying? Or I will then block you. Or if it's important, or if you want to speak to me, I will shuttle you to my call called talking time. So in every day, I've got times where I block and say, I'm doing my work. I'm doing office work. I'm doing out of office work. I'm doing calls work. And I'm doing social work. So those who know me at Simas, there are times or 30 minutes where I'm walking, greeting everybody. Ow, 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 ow. You know, I'm actually doing work, but it's part of my blocked social what? Blocked social time. Because you need social equity for you to succeed in business or in life. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But so you must give time for that. You must give time to see your friends. But it's in blocks. Once after that blocks is over, I immediately go and sit down and I'm back on my table and I start to get some things done. You understand what I'm saying? The problem is that you are working haphazardly, working blocks, decide what you're going to do the next hours, do it and finish it. You don't stand up there. So that's how I even plan my work, how I do my slides. I say, this time to do the slides for Dr. Esel. Do them. Done. Bah. And I'm done. 2 hours, I'm done. So people say, where do you find time to get this? I make time, I block time, and I use the time efficiently. Most of you block time and then you do other things. So by the time the 2 hours and the day finishes, you have not even done the things that you wanted to say, you had said you're going to do. So you don't get things done. And if you don't get things done, you are not going to make it in life and you are not going to execute your idea. Are we clear? And not only that, be predictable in your time management. So I actually work on a timetable. You remember the timetable that you had in school when you were in Form 4? Geography period, math period, break, science, double combination. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's how I work. So I put I've got a timetable. So people at my work, they know where I am at whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So everything is pretty timetabled. My meetings, people used to have meetings. They said, no. We have meetings on these days, on these days, and these days. I even has got free time. And in those free times, that's when I put people that are ad hoc. You understand what I'm saying? So I've got free. So the free time is where I put people that want to see me that were not on the plan. So if you call me during my time that I block that I'm doing this, I'll say, you know what? I'm busy right now. Can I talk to you around 3:30? And guess what 3:30 is? Free time. So I never give my productive time to somebody to push their goals, yet mine are at a standstill. But what most of you do is you use your precious time, your energy, your heightened energy time, and your most important goals, you push them away and you attend to other people. Yet you can, that's why I always say that the disorganized are always at the mercy of the organized. Am I talking today? Am I talking today? So, and the last thing that I'll tell you about time management, you must give yourself deadlines. You must give yourself deadlines. If you don't give yourself deadlines, then that thing is forever. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's a wish. Everything that is important, you must give yourself deadlines. This report must be done by this. My hair must be done by this. This project, this part of it must be done by this. Just like we gave ourselves, a deadline that we must be out of here. I'm sure you saw the confusion out there. Next time if you don't have transport, we'll be busing you to our new auditorium. But we gave ourselves a timetable. Gave ourselves a timetable that by March next year, we'll be out of here. And all the people said, how are you going to do that? I don't know. But whatever, whenever you give yourself a deadline, somehow you get a push. You get what I'm saying? So deadlines are an efficiency and a productive necessity. If you don't give, that's why I say to young men who want to get married, look for the date, the money will come. It will never come. You will be Methuselah and you won't get married. You understand what I'm saying? So give yourself a what? A date. I must do this by this time. I must buy this by this. If you do that, somehow your brain and everything in the world just pushes you to achieve it at that deadline. Clear? All right. Number 3, something which is never talked about. Something which is never talked about. Most people are not productive because of poor mental health. Now, I want to tell you something about being an entrepreneur. If there's something which is so stressful in this life, it is being an entrepreneur. Especially end of month. And you've got workers. You've got rents. You've got suppliers. So being an entrepreneur is not a walk in the park. Being a gold mafia, yes, but being an entrepreneur is not a walk in the what? In the park. There are times where your emotions go up. There are times when you are happy. There are times when you are crushed. There are times when you are no varwa. And today we are just talking about one guy who closed me about 40,000. And he was a good guy. He was my friend, married to somebody who was my classmate and everything. And I trusted this guy. He borrowed 40,000, never returned. When I wanted it, and you know how it is when people can have rough when that word and you know that kind of talk. I can sense that people have also said it here, isn't it? You have used that line, isn't it? Huh? And then you have to go out there. And so if you don't maintain your mental health, so what we have seen is that it has also been seen that depression and anxiety is very high among entrepreneurs. And if you don't recognize that you are now getting depressed and you don't have enough rest, you don't have enough sleep, you actually decrease your productivity. Because whenever you are depressed, you can't concentrate. Whenever you are depressed, you've got no energy. There are times when you can't even get out of your bed. I know you've got no energy because your alarm rings 6 times. Snooze. 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 I'm saying. You know? So one of my things that I do is that I don't switch off my alarm twice. Once, and I wake up. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to watch. And the best predictor of mental health is the quality of your close relationships. If you are married, the quality of your marriage and the quality of the close relationship. So work on that. It's important. That's why you see us pushing marriage seminars. It's not like we are just trying to fill time. But we know that if your marriage, even the entrepreneur, your marriage is down, you are going to have some mental health issues. So you want to maintain that relationship, and those who are not married, when you are and you want to be a serious entrepreneur, make sure that home front is sorted because it can mess you up. You understand what I'm saying? It can mess you up. So your mental health is very important. Number 4, you must look at what I call your communication strategy. Your communication strategy. For you to be able to execute and to get things done, you must communicate what you want done. Because if you don't communicate what you want to do, you have a lot of resistance. And some of the people that you think will be supporting you won't support you because they don't know what you're doing. Because people don't want to support things that they don't understand. People want to support things that they understand. So you need a clear communication strategy. Say, I need a clear communication strategy. So when you're talking about a clear communication strategy, you're talking about who must know what you are about to do, who must know what you are doing. Because if those people don't know, they cannot just support you by Vega. Are you hearing what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying. They can't just support you from nowhere and go, when I was going to support these people are against me. How can they support what they don't know and what they don't understand? So you're going to have to list down people, especially if you're starting a business, you're going to have to list down and talk. If you're married, you're going to have to talk to your spouse and say, spouse, I need to do this. You understand what I'm saying? You are going to have to talk to your spouse. You're going to have to talk to somebody. You're going to talk to your team members. You're going to talk to your workers. If you're changing something, you're going to have to talk to them, but you have to talk to somebody. So you must decide who you ask. Who must understand. So what I do is, whenever I've got something new, I don't just come and say, this is something new, this is what you're going to do. I start from afar. I start it as a little story. You get what I'm saying? And say, you know what, this is what I'm thinking. I would have thought about it. But if you say, this is what I want to do, people will say, I know what is. So what I do, I start from afar and say, you know what, I've just been thinking, and I'm thinking this is a direction that I want. Just think about it and give me comments. Usually they never comment, but you've already told them. Then after a week, you say, you remember that thing that I was talking to you about? I'm now really serious about it. I was already serious about it, but it was a communication what? Strategy. Most of you, you don't get things done. In fact, you get resistant because you want to force people to do things first day when you tell them. But most people will not, and they're skeptical. They will not comply. They will not do what you want. Your bosses will not listen to you, and they'll say, Shamari, keep things as they were, because people like the comfort zone. Am I talking to somebody? Okay. So you must know who you need to talk to. And also when you are who, and not only that, but what are you talking? What are you communicating? Tell them what you want. Tell them the deadline. Tell them the importance. The most important thing when you want to get a project done is you must sell the rewards. If you sell the pain, nobody will do it. Okay? And I always told this is the Moses strategy. When God told Moses, he said, I want to take the children of Israel. He didn't tell them that there was going to be Red Sea. He didn't tell them there were going to be snakes. He didn't tell them about... Because if you tell people problems, people say, no. So you tell people the rewards. So you tell the people, listen, I need to do this because if I do this, this is how we are going to buy our house. And your wife will say, what is it? House. This is how we are going to go to Dubai. Okay. All right. You get what I'm saying? So you must know what to say. Don't say, no, masaka zinstambo woma, jamavamba netoka. You get what I'm saying? So how you say that or not, if this happens, tunaenda ku Dubai. But for now, tunafana better. Sunga, zisimbe mbichana. Autaura kuti, hey, tishatengeza, hey, you get what I'm saying? Because if you sell the negative, you won't get the support. Sell the benefits. So why? The what is the benefits? Am I talking to somebody? All right? Number 3, you must know way to communicate it. There are certain things that you just can't communicate anyhow. And so that moves on us. You know, Adam said, you must look for the conducive time when somebody is relaxed, when somebody is happy. The other time I went to my CEO's office and I said, what kind of mood are you in today, boss? You get, I was smiling. But I wanted to know if he says, no, I'm not going to talk. But if he says, come on, come, then I can talk, because you want to gauge, because when you're introducing new things, you want to talk when somebody is more relaxed. They tend to listen. If they are in a beast mode, they will not listen because they are dealing with their own things. And your issue is not the most important thing, even though it's an important thing to you, but not to them. You understand what I'm saying? So you must know how and where to communicate. And you know what? You must create space if you don't want people to impede you. So a lot of people, your projects are not moving because you never communicated to the people that are important for it to succeed. So one of the things that I say on every goal that I have in my life is who must know. And I list at least two or three people who I must communicate this, who are important to support that goal, and so that they don't become an obstacle. They don't become an obstacle. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? If they do become, after you've spoken to them, then it's another matter. But most people, you create your own obstacles because you have not communicated effectively to the people who must know what you are doing, and they impede your execution. Is this clear? Is this clear? Because we are talking about how to get things done here. Number 5. There is a term called "eat that frog." Has anybody heard that term before? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So at least we've got some people who are reading. Okay. So the term "eat that frog" was used or was coined by the chap that I told you about, called Brian Tracy. So what he said was, this is one of the most important tools to get things done. So what he says is, you see that frog, if you are told to eat it, okay, so he says that you must get the most intimidating task out of the way every day. Okay? You must get the biggest and the ugliest and the most difficult work out of the way. Because if most people, what they do is that they do the small things that they like. Then they wait, then they leave the thing that they hate at last. So the whole day, you'll be saying, You get what I'm saying? And that actually slows you down because it's feeding you negative energy. You understand what I'm saying? So eating that frog is when you wake up, you do the most difficult and the most daunting task and the most ugliest task, you get it out of the way so that you start to enjoy the rest of your day and do the other easier duties. Am I talking to somebody? So if you want to get things down, you do the things that are most difficult, most ugliest. The things that you don't want to do, you do it and you get it out of the what? Out of the way. That's eating your frog. So can you tap your neighbor that's from tomorrow? Eat that frog. Okay. Is that clear? I know it looks simple, but if you start to do that, you're going to start to get a lot of things done. Because whatever you fear is actually, and that's why you postpone a lot. No, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. But it's important. So because you're not getting it done, you're going to postpone it down the line, and you focus on low-sit issues, you focus on easy issues which do not move. But the things that move the liver is this frog. So you eat the frog first. Am I talking to somebody? So if talking to your boss is the frog, that's the first thing that you do. Huh? If presenting is the frog, you first do it. If going to that appointment is the first thing, that's what you do first. So you put your energy. So you combine your energy cycle with your frog. You make sure that you are at your best when you're doing your frog. Because the other things are easy. You can doing them even if you are not very you are not concentrating a lot. Is that clear? Is this making sense to somebody? So I do my most important task, my most difficult task first. I make sure I get that out of the way so that the rest of the day is just a walk in the park. And I've got nothing which is ringing in my head and saying, you know how it is. The whole day. Yeah. Because you've got this thing ringing that you have not yet done. So if you want to get things done, you eat your frog. Say, from today, I'm going to eat my frog. Is that clear? All right. Then Then the next thing that I want to talk about is what I called the preemptive strategy. Everybody say preemptive strategy. So what you do when you are about to execute anything, what you need to do is to understand the possible problems that can arise or possible obstacles that can arise. Is that clear? So what you are doing is you are playing what I call the devil's advocate, where you are saying what can go wrong. So in everything, before you do anything, what can go wrong? Sometime one time I asked a young guy and say, okay, your idea seems good, so what can go wrong? I said, there's nothing that can go wrong. It went wrong with God, with Adam and you. Nothing can go wrong. But what I have now understood and know is that whatever can go wrong. That's why you are not yet a millionaire. Because when you organize that idea of yours, right now you should be living, you should be driving a Bentley, isn't it? Let's be honest. So at one time, ndakambetha makombi. So I tell you because I did a lot of things. I did mining, I did fuel, I did chickens, I did farming, I did greenhouse, I did what? At one time I was doing 16 things until my wife knocked some sense and said, this is not working, my bro. My nigga, this is not working. So preemptive is you look at your idea, you look at your goal, and you criticize it yourself. Or if you cannot, ask somebody to give you what you are not seeing. Because what the problem with most entrepreneurs is that they've got blind spots, but they don't admit it. Can I tell you something? Right now, I'm looking at you. I'm not seeing what is at the back. But you, what is behind me, you can see it as clear as daylight. But I'm not seeing it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And so who is the best person to warn me about what is behind me? You. So I want to tell you that whatever your idea is, there is something that you are not seeing. There is something that you have missed. Even if you are sure, ndikupuwa 1,000 mangwana kwa get accident mangwana achuya zokupa. Zafaran, as you were sure. So what can go wrong? So you have to know the things that can go wrong. What is it that can go wrong? What are the obstacles that can... So list all the possible obstacles. So that's one of the things that I normally do. And I can do it with your spouse. You can do it with your friend. You can do it with your team. What can go wrong, guys? Give me top 5 things that we need to watch. Number 1, number 2, number 3. So when you do that, you are not just listing what can go wrong. You then ask and say, what can go, if this can go wrong, what will be our response? So you already have determined your response before it goes wrong. If it doesn't happen, good for you. But if it does happen, you are not going to go up the mountain with, oh, Mandirasa. You get it? I know how people work. People always come to you, Pastor, you know those things. It's like as if I'm under attack. No, you are not under attack. There's no attack there. That's business. That is what? Business. So I will tell you, we've got one of our hospitals. We opened it in 2012. And so when we had finished everything and about to open, and we were about to get inspected the following day, guess what happened? The sewage filled the whole hospital, and I was called, and I went, and the whole first floor was full of sewage. I said, what is this? Mainline Yaga block. I never knew it. So what do we do? The mainline Yaga blockers, you need to put a septic tank. I said, okay, let's go and do the septic tank. We went and applied the septic tank. So no, I say I allow my septic tank for my shopping center. So that's okay. But the only way you can do a septic tank is to make a letter na town clerk or na town engineer. That okay, let's go and talk to the town engineer. So we went to the town engineer. So no, I'm busy. Come tomorrow. I went to his office 40 days in a row. Until everybody started to know me. Until I was going, CHIRISA. All right, it's a mangwana and I'm going to people will not even know because the deal is yours, it's not theirs. So you can curse and do whatever behind the scenes, but you get what I'm saying? You just have to keep the teeth showing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So for 40 days I was going. Are you hearing what I'm saying? But I later got it. I was given the letter. And then we started to dig. And we dug the septic tank. When we dug the septic tank, it was so big because it needed to accommodate. And then we had built, and then during the night, there was a downpour of rain. And the whole thing collapsed, and it was like a swimming pool, and the water was full up to here. You could literally drown in there. You understand what I'm saying? So I was called again after we had done all this. Come and do it. Say, Kupra imvura to build a foot because Chokwitachi hapana. And we did that. The place was opened, and it made us a lot of money. It's one of the reasons why we are like this right now. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you that it's not easy being an entrepreneur. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't list the things that can stop you, you'll be stopped by the first thing that comes in your way. The smallest hump will stop you because you never anticipated it. I'll tell you the last thing, and then I'll move on from this. Right now, we just bought a new digital X-ray machine, came from China, and so our old machine was 10 years old, so we bought a brand new one. Took 6 months for it to come. It came, and then it was fitted. So it was fitted two weeks ago. So it's a $35,000, $45,000 machine. The guy charged 2,000 to do it, so it's about 42,000. Okay? So we put it there, new machine. And then the guy said, the power here is not able to lift the machine. We have to change the power supply. Okay, fine. Go to Zesa. Zesa 2,000. The total cost to get the power that will make that new X-ray work needs 10,000. You understand what I'm saying? Huh? Obstacles. And what I've seen is that when things can go wrong. Even if you pray, I'm talking to some Christians here, even if you pray, things can what? Go wrong. But if you stop, I always say that the problems, the challenges in entrepreneurship are there to test your mental. Before money can really come to you, it wants to test whether you are ready for it. So it's not going to give you on a silver platter. You understand what I'm saying? So you must be ready to overcome challenges. But you are better off prepared if you list them, if you know what to do, and you are prepared for them. If they don't happen, good. If they happen, you are not thinking, you are executing. That's how you get things done. Am I talking to somebody here? All right. Okay, let's move on. The other thing that you need to do to get things done, you can never be great and you are alone. There is no one team player. Even if it's tennis singles, it's still a team. They've got a coach, they've got a trainer, they've got somebody. You can never be great alone. And a lot of you want to be great alone. And I want to tell you that it is important for you to build a great team. One of the things that I get a lot of things done is I've got teams. I've got a team that takes care of this place. I'm not the one who did all this. Or I don't even know how this mic works. I don't even know where it's connected. You get what I'm saying? Because there's a team that takes care of it. In our outfit, I don't even know what happens there. In fact, I've not been there for some time now. It's almost 2 months. It's my company, I've not been there for 2 months. Because I've got a what? A team. I've got a team. So you as an entrepreneur, you must be prepared to get a team. And sometimes get a team that has got the right skills. So there are things that you need to, because you can never grow and become big by yourself. You can't. And you say, so if you are a chinetsa, then you are not going to grow big. Because when garage nets, it doesn't mean that because we've got teams, when our nets, tinoto go never. Are you get what I'm saying? But still, we still need you. You understand what I'm saying? So get over it. But you need them. Hello? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay, so you need people. We are here right now, but we need, she's part of my team. And each team player is doing the right, so I need a team player with the right skills. So when you are taking somebody to help you in your business, does this person have the skills that you want? Does this person have the right energy? Because there are some people who have not energy. There are some people that I avoid. So what somebody this and business. All right. So you need the people with the right energy. You understand what I'm saying? Right energy. Because you don't want somebody who would idea you because I'm saying that kind of approach. No. If you are my team member and you're speaking like that, we remove you. We want somebody who's saying, this is hard, but we can do it. Yes, we can. So I want somebody with the right energy. I want somebody with the right culture. You get what I'm saying? Culture yeku weka, culture yema receipts, culture yeku show faithfulness, culture yeku savara, culture yeku chokwadi, culture yeku taura the truth. Kana zinsuku famba vati dogs zina asku famba. Not gonna zise sukufamba. Zise, that culture is bad. You understand what I'm saying? And so I'm looking for the team that fits in So if you've got people around you that are not fitting in, get rid of them. In fact, the pain of staying with somebody who is not working will defeat the pain of getting a new person. So in any, what I normally do is, I immediately start a replacement process. I'm busy. Sometimes no gonna talk badara, could we end. Better do badare and wash my pain away than to keep my pain for a low cost. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Better do badare, mpe mari zage, I end, better to start it in a vacuum. That's what I do. Because I want people who cause, so I'm looking always for a great team. And within that team, I'm looking every 2 years to shake it up. Because some people will get lazy, they came with energy, but the energy is gone. So we have to put some new people, remove. So if you want to stay in my team, then you have to continue to be energetic. Increase your skills. Because I tell some members of the group, with the skills, you can't. You get what I'm saying? So I said to one of the people when we were still a small church, today about 35, so this used to be the whole church. So I said, look, with the skills of these people, you were a brilliant person. But when we are 1,000 people, when you are 2,000, you are a timber. You have to increase your skills. So at that level, no, my skills. Upgrade your skills. Not even. Hello? Say Doc is now talking to you. Okay? So you must be upgrading your what? Your skills. You hear people, hey, this company is small. No, company is just small. You get what I'm saying? And I paid you when that company was small. At least with a director because we garam company for 6 years. To know a director because you've got the skill that is necessary to do the job at that level. And I want to tell you, while it is good to employ your family, but your family can be your biggest downfall also. Because they come there and they've got a boss mentality. You are my family member, you've got no skill, and you want to come to me and you want to be the manager. You get what I'm saying? So what I normally do, I don't like employing my relatives. I look for my relatives' employment in my friends' businesses. And I say, I look for a job for you, but I don't keep your job for you. You keep it for yourself. And I told my friend, if he's not performing, kick them and fire them, even in the name of Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? Because if they are with you, sekuru. So I tell you, there's no sekuru panapa. Panapa, it's you know you must perform and you must do. So while we want to help, I did help my family members, but it was a mess. It was a mess. You get what I'm saying? So some of you right now, you are not growing because you're just surrounded by your families and they are not pushing you. And no matter how much you pay them, the money you are giving them is too little. They'll just, in fact, they want the same money that you are getting. But it's not their company, it's yours. You get what I'm saying? So, sometimes it's help them, better company, because they can actually bring the company down. You'll be shocked at how many relatives actually steal from you. In fact, the most faithful people are not your relatives, are the strangers. They are more faithful. Well, I'm just telling you my experience, but you can have a different one, or you will also learn by experience. And then you will come to me after 5 years and say, Doc, you were saying the truth. At that moment, you give me an offering. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Okay, so build a great team. As you build a great team, you must obviously know how to delegate. So the reason why I get all these things done is I do a lot of delegation. I am good at delegation. And so how do you master delegation? You must know the things that you must delegate. You cannot do all the things by yourself. So I know my strengths. My strengths are I'm a visionary. I think I can see things. So when I go to a place, like the place that we are going to build, we are building the new wisdom center. It's just a field. So I went there and I said, yes, I can see the wisdom center. But when you go there, it's just a field. You can't even see anything because I'm a visionary. That's my strength. But I'm not a good project manager. No, I can't do that. So that I delegate. Because it's not my strength. So what I do is I delegate my weaknesses. and I perform my strengths. When you are building your team, you build your team first, and you bring people that are weak. In fact, you bring in team members that cover your weaknesses. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? So if you are good at accounts, you don't bring another accountant. Bring a market. Bring an executor. Bring a technical person. But most of you have started a group with your friend and you are in the same field. You've got the same skills. Duh. So you've got two heads doing the one thing, and you've got all these things. So what I do is I don't partner my strengths, I partner my weaknesses. So I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking for somebody who can cover what I don't have. And I delegate things that I don't have, that I cannot do. So I'm looking for somebody so I know exactly what I cannot do. So why does delegation fail? And that's why you say, sometimes that is a talk of a small person. If you want to do all the things by yourself, you are small. And you will never be big. Because you've got 24 hours. If I was a small person, if I continue to do things by myself, right now, then 24 hours yangu yekwa makoni. Nditona my patients. Shamai, temperature, Baiwa Jackson, mushonga, dishinyora ndeg. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Hello? So there's a saying that I always say, that a pencil sharpened 75% will still write as good as a pencil sharpened 100%. So while I can do it best by myself, if somebody can do it 75%, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Let's get the job done. If that person takes care of that and I'm doing other things, that's why we have grown. Because I focus on other things while other people are focusing on other things. But you want to be everywhere. And because you want to be everywhere, you remain small because you can only control small things by yourself. So you cannot be a Dr. S.M. CHIRISA and you are not a delegate. You will die from BP. BP yakuira. Kwira. So you are also delegating to the wrong person. So you are saying to a person, Shanti, that you don't badra magets, ulu that muniye anoba, satambo, if temanga nyaya, you get what I'm saying? I had one guy and the guy ended up badra magets, and then after some time he came to me, so I can ndatopa border. Maria and I'm going to go good there, but do end up to pin this South Africa. Yeah, that's what people will do for you. Then after 2 years, he came back, he called me, and said, Mukoma, that's Kochi. Ndiregerere, ndakakuregerera kudhara. Saka kachindibeka basa because anchazviita futi ndakati beaten once twice shy. You understand what I'm saying? So you must delegate. So most people delegate the wrong things to the right things to the wrong people. You want somebody to sing, but you send a sweeper to come and sing. You understand what I'm saying? It will be a mess, and your conclusion is van araite. No, because you are not a good delegate. You must delegate to the right people with the right skills. Am I talking to somebody? And you must also tell them what your expectations are, your deadlines are. And when you need to report, so when I give somebody, I will say, you know what, give me in 1 week, tell me what the Zufamba say. Because I always say you must inspect what you expect. Most of you delegate over then Ozongona Ama one. So the person, when you delegate and things are not done, it's not the problem of the person, it's the problem of the delegator. It's your problem. And most entrepreneurs, they don't know how to delegate. It's a skill, it's an art. When I was learning how to delegate, it took me almost 12 hours of learning how to delegate. So you assess the skill level, you assess the reporting level, you assess the need of this thing, how urgent it is, and whether these people can pull it off, and the kind of support that they need. Do they have the tools to pull it off? Do they have the computers? Do they have the skills? Do they have the internet? Because you know what knows internet, but on internet. Have you given the person the necessary tools for them to achieve their goal? And that's your job as an entrepreneur, so that people can get the things done. Is that clear? That clear? So we can look at the delegation process, choosing who to delegate, choosing the right person, description of the results and outcomes that you are looking at, monitoring the milestones as a way of project management, result feedback, and all those kind of things. Okay. Last, you must always inspect what you expect. A lot of entrepreneurs leave a lot of things to chance. They don't inspect. You understand what I'm saying? So those who work with me, they will understand. Like, for example, when we are doing a major conference, a night before, I just come, just look. The team now knows me, so they do it excellently. You understand what I'm saying? But sometimes you just have to come. You just have to come so that you can. So you must inspect, and they must know that you are inspecting. So one of the things that I used to do with my 24 hours is that I would wake up in the morning, I would wake up in the evening at 2 o'clock, just drive there. Na 2. Ndongopinda ndongona watu vanhu vari kuzivamisa chi? Vari kuzivamisa sei? Ndoona the state of my lights, the cleanliness, vanhu vakarara. Because sometimes kana kusina mapenzi, vanhu vanonga vakatorara pamabench, torwangono. You get what I'm saying? So you just go. Just go. So sometimes I just go. I don't even tell you. The other time I went to one of my places, and I arrived 7:30 and I park across. Just looking. Now you don't have to do that. You can put my cameras, and you can watch everything on your phone. But you have to inspect what you expect, because people will only do what you inspect. So you must know what to inspect. So that's why people, if you say, you'll be shocked. As after wavura, vakuziya kuti pakuinspectwa, ndo paunotanga utsvaira. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So you must tell people, and so you inspect the most important key things that are important to you or are important in the business. So one of the things that I look at is the finances. I want to know how much money has been made. Can I have a report every morning, and it comes on my phone? So I inspect it, and I want to know. If it's not there, I throw a fit. Where is it? Where are my numbers, guys? I don't want to call this. You must know this is the way. And I give them a template. You give me this, because that's what gives me and to know how to manage my business. With the people that you're working with, une shop, what figures are you getting every morning or by the end of the day? So I want to know who came in, what we didn't have, what we have. I want to know our fill rate. How much are we saying? Are we referring to others? What should we do? It tells us even where we need to expand. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got all the data in your business, but you are not keeping it. My election. My election. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Election chichachu. Am I talking to somebody? Am I talking to somebody? So you must inspect what you expect. Did you get something about getting things done today? Okay? So we are teaching you these things so that you can apply them in your life. You can apply them. You can apply them. All right? So I promise you that we'll be out of here by 1:15. So let's take 2 questions. Let's take 2 important questions if you've got any questions. Roving mic, please. Where's the roving mic? Can you give them? Guys, huh? You are sleeping today. All right. So if you've got any question about what we talked about or anything that is pressing that you think can help the audience, please lift up your hand. No preaching because we're out of time. You just tell us your name and then you go straight to your question. Any questions or any comments about what you learned today? There's a question there. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. I am Mr. Katona from Twins Association of Zimbabwe. Ndafara zvikuru nekutivhura pfungwa kwamaita. Tisu vamwe vatanga tichigarira basa. But your lecture yatiitira zvakanaka. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Doctor.
Yes.
My name is Lionel. My question is related to delegation and people management.
Yes.
Under what circumstances would you recommend a management style that's more close to micromanagement and a management style that's a bit laid back?
Okay. So that's a good question. And as an entrepreneur, you must be able to understand when to apply which method of management. So micromanagement is urikuudza vanhu zvokuita munhu anenge achikuvhunza kuti ndotenga cheblue here ndotenga ichi here. You get what I'm saying? Kuti kana ari mushop anenge achitora mapicture kuti pane magwavha pane maorange ndotenga ripi. You get what I'm saying? Asi wongwa muti ndantenga mafruits. You understand what I'm saying? So micromanaging is good. You want to know every detail. I usually do that when we are in a crisis. You understand what I'm saying? When we are in a crisis and it's an emergency, I micromanage out of the situation. You understand what I'm saying? But remember, when you are talking about time management, you don't want to, the reason why you manage your time and your activities is so that you don't get into crises. You get what I'm saying? You manage on your on forecast and say, what do we need to do? So what I normally do is on long-term projects, I allow my team to say, guys, go and sort this out. Tell me what your plan is. But this is what we want to achieve. So I tell them my results or my outcomes. So I am not so much of a person. There are 1,000 types to 1,000 ways to kill a cat. You can kill the cat anywhere. I don't care, as long as on this day you give me a dead cat. You understand what I'm saying? Then if I see the cat is not getting killed, I will say, okay, now take Museva Uyu and do it this. And boss, I gave you time to do what you can do without me hovering over you. But now, because we are out of time, we are going to do it this way. So that's how I do. So in emergency, I kind of like micromanage out of the problems. But when it is long term, I tell them the outcome and say, look, guys, can you do this? That's why it is important to build a team with a person with the right culture, right attitude, and the right skill. You understand what I'm saying? Because they were able to. So most of the management is not micromanaging. It's actually vision casting. So because these people have got the right skill, they know more than you. And even if you're an entrepreneur, I always say, don't be the smartest team member. I employ people that are smarter than me. Then I'm managing finance, but in boss. And why didn't you more money is because so I am the master team builder. You get what I'm saying? Here I need the right skill. My job is to see the skill and utilize it. So I always put people that are more brilliant around me. And most of entrepreneurs, especially black entrepreneurs, are intimidated with somebody smarter than them. And that's why you don't move and you are too slow. Some of us, we say, I always tell my wife, Kunem Vana no Ziva, Mr. Lemon Vano Ziva, Chagut Vano Ziva. Saka, why should I? Saka in Basarango, but Jindian Chipudambiri. You get what I'm saying? But Anton Bazia. But my job is to cast and say, this is what we want to happen. I hope that answers your question. One last question. We've got still 5 more minutes, but that was a good question. Yes?
Thank you, Dr. Chirisa. My name is Sidney Mnyaradzi. My question is, in a situation where you started off, what I do is private tutoring. Mm-hmm. But what I'm doing is, at the moment, I don't own the premises from which I work. It's almost like I'm subcontracting. Mm-hmm. So how do I maintain the growth emphasis in an environment where I'm working in a work setting which is not my own?
Okay. So there are several ways. If the business is booming, then you can get bigger premise. But sometimes what you need to do and what most people don't do, we don't use our mind, what I call business engineering. So what most of us do is we burden ourselves with costs, with the rents. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously, if you are doing well and you see you can expand but you don't have the money, you can go and talk to that person and the owner of the space and say, listen, my friend, this business is going well, but I don't have premises, I don't have money to buy anything. So what I'm suggesting is, if you give me this business, we can do a revenue sharing. but I don't pay rent anymore. So you have removed yourself the burden. End of month, rent, but your share. The problem is we want to keep 100%, but we don't have the means to grow the business. You understand what I'm saying? So I always say, good, you need to think outside. Can you achieve what you want to achieve by bringing in somebody, partnering somebody who has got what you need, but then are not doing what you need? So that's what I do. So whenever I am networking, I'm not networking with the people that have what I am. I'm networking with people who don't have what I have. Because those are the people who I can actually interact with, and they can give me and help me to achieve more and to grow more. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So one of the things that I did with one of our hospitals, I didn't even have money, I had an idea. So I went to these guys who had money and said, guys, I've got an idea. I think this idea can work. We can open the first drug rehabilitation in Zimbabwe. I don't have money. And they gave me 160,000 US dollars. I opened the hospital. Then I said, you know what? We'll pay you. 50% of it is a loan to the company. 50% is equity into it. So I didn't pay rent. In fact, the first month, they are the ones that were paying the rent. And we just said it's a loan to the company. And when the business started to peak, we paid off those things. And after 1 year, I had 50% of a business that I did not. In fact, I had 51% of the business that I did not put any money and an idea, but I partnered with somebody who had the money, who didn't have the skill. And after 7 years, we sold the business with a $1 million evaluation. And I got my money. So I literally created all that money from zero. But you know, she's the idea, yangu. So talk to the person. Talk to the person. If it's not working, then go to another place and deal and pitch. We can do this, we can do this. Somebody will say, oh, you can use my house, you can use my building, you can use my floor, you can use, because people are looking for something to know about cash, especially if they're not doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So think. Let's use our mind. That's why it think and grow rich. Huh? Think and grow rich. So you have to be thinking on how you can use the people. So there is enough resources out there to make your things work. All right, last question. I hope that makes sense.
Sir, I wanted to ask on two things actually.
Yes.
The first one is mental health and the second one is communication strategy. But the question is kind of umbrella, like how do we deal. What solutions would you suggest in dealing with the mental health issues, and communication strategies as well? Like, what books or what else would you suggest for us to do for betterment in those areas?
Okay, good. So there's a book, Nonzi, How to Influence People and Winning Friends, or something like that. I think just go and look, Winning Friends, Winning People, something like that. That's a good communication. It tells you how to go around people and get the support of people. You get what I'm saying? And so I'm very good at that, at talking and getting, by the time I leave, everyone is, yeah, yes, we can do it. And guess what? If people have got self-belief that they can do it, they do it. You get what I'm saying? So how to influence people, it must be that, how to influence people. So that's a good book to read. But when it comes to mental health, you have most entrepreneurs, like I said, they're at risk, especially for depression, because of the ups and downs in the market. You can be doing so well today, you are happy, and tomorrow you've got a robbery, all things are gone, matcha, shop, I've seen all kinds of things. Or people just pull a shocker. You understand what I'm saying? So because of that, you must be able to take, number one, you need to have somebody that you can talk to. And a lot of people have got no good people to talk to who can give them real advice. And at that moment, especially when you're under stress, your mind is not able to think on its own. So you need a thinking buddy who is able to maintain his feet on the ground while you are going through the emotions. You understand what I'm saying? So I always say, have a friend who is sober. If the friend is also mad, then you are in trouble. You also need to understand, know yourself when you are burning out. So there's a lot of burnout among entrepreneurs. And how we see it is like you just then leave your business. You know how it is? Has anybody ever thrown that kind of fit? Business is chanted comes and or aita burnout. So you must know before you get to those burnout moments, So one of the things that I do, why I don't get burnout, I'll tell you a secret. I use what is called milking the cow method. I pop internet, so I listen to it carefully. Most of you, so you know what I do with everything that I'm in? As I go. But some of you, no, 2030, 2030 uneta BP. Saka ininda ngona changoti imbichana ndatombotora kamari ndatombofara ndatombopfeka suit nywana. You get what I'm saying? So that I encourage myself. So most business people, they wait for too long before they give yourselves reward from the business. Can I something chaitiko? Give yourself a reward so that you keep yourself motivated. That's how you keep your boss work out. No, then something just to product. I will not a BP. So I'll be making the cow. Don't be feeder. Don't be mochi. Mukaka watch. Good anything that can get happen. You get what I'm saying? And this is a BP. So as a business rangu one runondipa BP. Right now. I will not go to the mountain. Ask my wife. Those businesses have built our house. They've bought us cars, sent us to holidays, bought us everything. Sent our schools, our kids to the top schools. What more do you want? The purpose of a business is not for display, but is to keep you and to give you a life. So I also, this year, Kuchitungus alone, we've invested over 150,000 into new businesses or into our present. So while we did that, we also take kamari of it. You get what I'm saying? Not go to Ramari business, don't toro, don't stengro shango, don't stengro, dopo madam, don't think I'm a phone. You get what I'm saying? Don't keep my mental health. All right. Yeah, I'm telling you because you work at 1 year business. How much are you? To go now to annex you. Business around. All right. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program today. I hope it was useful. And so here's the thing. We hold these mentorship programs last Friday of every month. During winter, we were having what we call the winter school. But the Dr. SM CHIRISA runs the last Friday of every month. We will see in August with the elections, if it's safe and there's no problems, you will see us posting it. But if the environment is a bit tricky, we will not have it. Is that okay? But immediately once things are safe, we will not safe, we will just continue. And so far it has been peaceful, and we pray that it continues to be peaceful. But watch for it. The only month at Dr. SM CHIRISA is December. Me and my wife, we are out. We are out of here. We are out. So every year, you get what I'm saying? But every other in November, we are going to have one with Arthur Marara. It's already confirmed. Our usual November combination. And so please, let's fill this place next time. And thank you for coming. MC, over to you.